Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. My brain is telling me it's time to make a mystery quilt block. That's what my brain said. I agree with it. If you're not familiar with this series, I have a playlist link in the description of this video. I just sit down, I take some scraps, I tell you the sizes I'm using, and we just make things up as we go. Isn't that cool? I pulled out a few of these. I like this very wrinkled piece of brown. I don't know that I have brown in any of the pieces. I will press it. This is a new scrap that I recently created, and I'm glad because it's a big piece. I like that. This, little leftovers, some pink, like that. And then this guy, I've explained before that sometimes when I buy layer cakes to split and sort into my various things that I sell, I'll get some that they just don't really go good. You know, it's just a weird pattern that doesn't match anything else in the layer cake. And I like this, so I can certainly cut a piece out of that. I can cut out of this, so maybe I'll use some of that, maybe not. And I want to remind you, I had 2 boxes that I was working out of that looked like this, you know, a mess. And this is packed. I even have some bagged things here, packed to the top of my beef burgers box. But we sorted one box that looked just like that, and this is what I have in there now. So that was cool. I did a crumb chat, you know, watch me sort fabric, something like that. Mostly strips, some pieces. So I need to, you know, use these up, and I'm just very glad that I have this box sorted, and we'll do the other box down the road, or maybe I'll just do it off camera and let you know. Okay, let me, what is it called? Iron. I was gonna say fold. Let me iron some of this, cut, trim, whatever, measure, and I'll be right back. I think I'm going to start with this. Let me give you the measurements. I'm anxious to use that brown piece, and I like brown with blue. I like brown with anything. Okay, so this measures about 3.75, 3 1/4 this way. So this one will too. But you can make this one a little bit wider so you can sew it on and then trim. But mine is just about right. So 3 1/4 this way. This is 6 this way. And that's 2 inches that way. So I'm going to just put this here, and I don't sew on camera for this series, but if you like to just listen to a sewing machine, watch my crumb chats. Now I just grabbed one of the long strips out of the box that I sorted. Is it my favorite? Maybe not, but I'm going to use it. So this, mine is crooked. It's not even all the way. I don't care. 1 1/2 that way. That's what you can do. Yep, 1 1/2. And it needs to be at least 7 1/2 inches tall, so you can maybe make it 8. I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to put it on this side. I'm just going to go like this and sew, and then I'll just trim off what I don't need. Now we have this. I like so far. Now I cut a piece of that square, what was a 10-inch square once upon a time, and I'm going to put it on the bottom. So it is, okay, this is now about 5 inches wide, so get something 5 inches wide or more. I would say at least 5 1/2 wide, maybe even 6, and by 2 1/2 this way. So I cut mine a little bit wider than this, which is what I want, and I'm going to sew that right there. Now we have this. And I don't even have my cutting mat, no size cutting mat, not even a tiny one near me. I've been cutting the pieces by hand. I am trimming just by hand, just all right here at the machine. Now let's see. We can do maybe 2 pieces put together to have on this side. I'm going to try to make them a little bit big just so we can have a bigger block quicker. This is like a treasure, a piece this big in that box. I Was hoping I could use this pink. I just liked it, and now I can. I'm going to put it on here, and then we'll just need another piece for that. So let's measure this. I'm thinking it's a 5-inch square. No. Oh, let me start this way. It's actually like a 5.5-inch square. So that's what you're doing there. And then this, we want it at least 5.5 inches this way, this piece, or longer. Mine's longer. I'm just leaving it as is. And 2 inches. So 5.5 square, more than 5.5, and then 2 inches. And we're just going to put that here. Sew, press, open, trim, or sew, trim, press, open. It's your choice. I didn't press these yet, but I'm going to put 2 pieces together for the top of this guy. Let me move you back a little bit more. So let's move these out of the way. We'll go with this. This is 2 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches tall, so 2.75. 2 by 2.75. So this one is going to be 4 inches wide. We need it at least that wide so we have wiggle room. But it would only need to be like 3 inches or more tall. Mine is bigger, so I'm just going to put it on there, and then I'll trim after. So 4 inches wide, and I would say at least 3 inches tall or taller. I will press this guy, and then I'm going to sew right there, and then I'll be trimming the top off. I didn't trim this part really good. I did it with just scissors right here, and I didn't take off the pinked edges either. This might be the end of the block on the top, so I'll just trim it when I trim everything. Now this is going to go here. Ooh, I'm just making it. Now if this piece is a little too short, just trim this one down some. If it's too long, well obviously we're going to trim. We can trim it. So I'm just going to put this here. And I'm going to sew right there. We have this. And now let's see. Wow. That's going to work good. And I think we'll be done. I think so. All right, so let me just give you the approximate measurements. Don't worry if yours are not the same. This one is coming out at about 5.5 because that's what we said. And this is 5. And they're both about 9 1/4. 9 1/2. So I'm going to be sewing these together like this, and then I will trim all the way around, and I'll tell you what size block I ended up with. This is what we have. I haven't measured it yet, but I know it's something in 1/4 in one direction. Okay, it's 9 this way, and I have 9 1/4 this way. It can be 9 inches square if you want, if that bugs you. But I'm just leaving it as is. I just cut to the largest size I can. And then, we make adjustments when we start putting them together. Oh yeah, so this is block number 19. The next block is 20, and then we'll do some more joining. I'm going to be anxious to do that because we've already joined some. Maybe we can put a couple of the bigger pieces together, and we're going to get an idea of how much more we need to finish up, right? Okay, that is it for now. Oh, and go check out my scrap packs. The link is in the description of this video. The classic scrap packs. Those are various sizes, and some are bigger, like no more than usually 8 inches, maybe 7 inches. Some are a little bit smaller, nothing smaller than 4 inches either way. So go check those out. You get like lots of pieces depending what I have available right now with no duplicates, so it's perfect to do these mystery blocks. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.